Today I want to show you what happens when you don't harvest your celery. And what I mean by that is, I've got these celery plants growing in net pots like that. Now that's pretty good size. I think those are 3-inch. The way celery grows, it just at the base, it keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. And until you get something like this. Now these have wintered over, and I just harvested a few just yesterday, a lot of these, and it still tastes really, really good. But it's just that the plant is getting so big that it's almost unmanageable. And you can see, maybe you can see by this that the styrofoam is just torn to pieces because they get so big that they just expand and rip the styrofoam of the floating raft to pieces. So here's a corner of it, corner of one, and it just tore that right out of there. And let me lift this up and show you this. Let me lift this up and see if I can show you this. The roots are so huge that I can't even lift this out of here. Look at that root mass. You can even see it. See, and the styrofoam is just split. So let me just break this and pull it out of here. As you can see, it's split along these lines. I'll just throw these on the ground for now because I'm going to have to tear these out of here. And there we go. Okay, now. Oh. Yeah. I'm trying to get to one plant here, and I can't. There's one side of this. I hope you can catch this on the camera. Bring this out of here, because what we've got here is, okay, there we go. Let's throw some more of this down. Let's see. All right. I'm going to try to lift this up and hold it. Now this is just 2 cups of those net cups. These are 2 3-inch cups. That's all this is. But these plants just keep expanding and expanding. Let me bring the camera over here to show you a little close-up on this, which you might find amazing. Now, if you look at this, you can see there's 1 cup right there, and there's another cup right there. And that is all there is here. But look at that root mass and how thick it is. And if anything, this is a testimony of how well these things grow in aquaponics, particularly floating raft. And you can see on the ends here, let's see here. So there's one I can pull off. Let me put the camera back here. Try to disassemble this a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I guess you can see that. So what I'm going to try to do is pull these off and replant them. Well, that didn't work. So I broke it. But the thing is, you can take this. You see, this is round. You don't normally see celery like that. Usually it's kind of a crescent shape. That's what you see in the store. But this is round. This is stalk that I guess is going to seed. But if you take a bite of this, see? Oh, it's excellent, excellent flavor. It's really good. So there's nothing wrong with it. This is perfectly harvestable. It's just become unmanageable. Let me turn it over. You can see now. Here's one. Maybe we can get out of here. But look at the size of this thing. Now here's a cup. Let's see if we can. I'm going to try to do. I'm going to get a pair of scissors, and I'm going to have to try to cut these apart. So let's see if we can do this. There, okay, there's one. This is just one net cup. Now remember, that net cup is only this big when it started. And you can see it has completely destroyed this net cup here. But look on this side. You can see it's, I don't know if you can see that, but it's elongated. Let's get it from this angle. It has elongated that cup. And as you can see right here, look at this. Look at that right there in the middle. Look at the size of that tree trunk. Can you see that? This right here? That's the original plant, and these are all shoots from it. And as you can see on the top, those are all, you can see the cuttings right there. That one and that one. These are what I've cut off of it quite recently. And this thing has just gotten huge. So I'm going to try to I'm going to harvest a lot of this. And then I'm going to try to pull some of these side shoots out and see if I can replant them somewhere, because they'll still grow. But if you let them get that out of control, you just can't deal with them anymore. There's another one. Now, this is one net cup, just one. Now let me cut all the roots off of this, if I can. Now look at that root mass. Look at that. Look at that root mass. I'm going to need to back up a little bit. Can you see that? That's just one plant. And boy, it almost looks like an overcoat for a hermit, doesn't it? I'll throw that on the ground. Now here's the plant, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is just one cup. You can see how it's destroyed the styrofoam inside there. See that? It's just completely ripped it to pieces and torn it apart. And I'll try to get in there. Let's see here. Well, anyway, there's a... Cut some more of this up. There. Some more of a haircut here. Alright, that's probably cut down enough that you can see that is just one net cup. You see how it's split it apart right there, bulging out of there? That's all it is. It's one plant, one net cup. That's what this is. And look at that. And it's been harvested. You can see right here. I'm going to show you here two big stumps. See, you see that? There's a big stump that I cut off the other day. There's another stump, and another stump down here. If I look around there, I'll find more. But you see, this is still a big plant. And so let's see if we can cut this last net pot off of here. See if we can separate these. Now the reason that I'm doing this is because this plant has become unmanageable, and I can't put it in the floating rafts anymore. Matter of fact, it's torn up the floating raft that we had it in, so it's just not manageable anymore. It's gotten too big and out of hand. And the only way to prevent this, if you're doing this yourself in a floating raft thing anyway, is the individual plants, when they get fairly good size, you probably should harvest them whole and get them out of there, because they'll keep growing and they'll keep producing wonderful celery, but what'll happen is they'll do this. They'll get huge and unmanageable. Now someone can find a way where being unmanageable like this doesn't really matter. I mean, there must be a planting method that will work, then you can do it. Now look, there's one piece I pulled off. Now I can replant this because it has roots to it. I can replant this in another cup and it'll grow another year. So I'll put that over there. And then we'll try to pull one of these off. There's another one. Same story. That's a nice looking plant. It'll grow another year. We'll put that in another. See, there's a whole handful right here of viable plants that I can replant, and they will grow. These will all take really nicely. And this is only half of one net cup. That's how these things, they grow like crazy. Anyway, I just thought you might like to know that's what celery does. If you put it in a hydroponic, or in this case it's an aquaponic system. I don't think it'd make much difference on how it would grow. But the point is it is prolific like that, and if you don't control it by actually pulling it out and harvesting it, you'll get something like that, where you get great big celery plants like that. Huge. Okay, I just thought I'd show you a real good clear view of that stump. Look at that. See that? And you see on top here, I've been clipping all of the celery stalks off of it. But these, and it'll get bigger than that. It'll just keep going, I guess. Bigger and bigger around, and more shoots come off of it. These things grow well in the water, so. And this wintered over, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. This wintered over. And I didn't freeze in here, but it wasn't warm. But these wintered over quite well. So there you go. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks since I've thinned out my celery here. And I wanted to show you how it's growing. Let me grab the camera and bring you over here to show you. Okay, now if you look here, if you remember, some of these were big stumps. Well, I basically broke them all up. But look, see, all of these have new celery growth coming off of them. All of them do, even this one back here. So what's going to happen? Oh, this one doesn't look too good, but that one looks like it's rotting away. But even that one has celery, new growth coming off it. I think I'll put that one back and see what happens. I would throw that out, but that would be an interesting experiment to see if even apparently rotting away like that, whether it still comes back. But anyway, look at all these. You remember, this is the huge celery that I cut off, and there's another one. But see, all around it, there's new celery growth coming. So that's what happens when you thin celery out, like I did, and it works pretty good. And this, we'll give it a little while, I know, a month or so, and we'll probably be able to harvest celery off of this, just like we did the original plant. So there you go. Okay, today is the 20th of May. It's been about 2 weeks or so since I showed you how these were starting to sprout. And so now you can see that they're doing a lot more than sprouting. These things are taking off. Now I think, you know, we've got this discoloration here, primarily because I need to put a little more nitrogen in the water. But still, look at this. See, they're growing. And let me just pull one of these off, and I'll take a bite. Oh, that's good. Those are real good celery. But, you see, after all that busting them up and putting them back in here, and you can still see this stump here, that they're all growing and coming right back. And look at this. Right off the bat, this one has gone to seed. That's quite interesting. I guess maybe something is telling it that this is an old plant and it's time to go to seed. That's interesting. Look at this one here starting to do it too. That's off the same plant though. So, interesting plant signaling. But anyway, see how good it did? These celery plants are growing. They're doing very, very well. And I have got to do the same to these. As you can see, these have really gone to seed, and they're tall and they're huge. And these are so heavy that the styrofoam is sinking. Oh, look at all that's up here. Look at that. Big mess here. I've got to take care of these. Anyway, so that's how you do celery. You got to make sure you do harvest them or they get huge.